Joining us now, John McGuire, Congressman, 5th District, Virginia. John, thanks for being with us.
Hey, Happy New Year and congrats on 15 years to you and Ann. Godzilla Truth, you've been informing us for a while. It's great to be on the show this morning, John.
John, we got a big agenda ahead of us in 26. Happy New Year to you, Tracy, your family. Always good to see you. We'll talk, we'll have lunch or dinner soon. 26, big agenda. What's your top priorities, John?
Well, the biggest thing is we've got to get the midterms. I mean, if we don't get the midterms, they're going to stop President Trump and America First agenda in its tracks. So, but I got to tell you, the Democrats, they've skipped socialism and gone to communism. I heard you talking earlier about New York Mayor Mandami. I mean, this guy is going after landlords. He's going after your ability to make a decision. And they're destroying the socialism and this communism. They take property and they destroy innovation. So that's terrible. Also, these policies of open borders, almost 20 million people cut in line, and there's no accountability. People are, committing all these crimes, getting released back onto the streets in these Democrat cities. No accountability. You saw the fraud in Minnesota, and we are going to bring them in on next Wednesday in oversight and go after them. But we've got to get some people locked up, because what the Democrats getting away with these things are doing is it's telling we the people, why try, why do the right thing? No one's going to be prosecuted. So we've got to have accountability in 2026. You're going to hear about affordability in 2026. But the big thing is we've got to win the midterms. We've got to get victories for the American people.
John, how do we win the midterms with every disaster around us going on?
Well, we got a lot of good things going on. Like the work and family tax cut, the one big beautiful bill. We are thinking people are going to have the biggest tax refund ever. Obviously, that sounds pretty tough with all this fraud we're discovering, not just in Minnesota, but now you're hearing it's happening in Ohio daycares, and it's probably going to be daycares and autistic organizations, these daycares and these centers that help out with autism. I think that's their little scam, and there's probably many more scams, so they just rip it off the American people. But despite that, on December 7th in Roanoke, I got a photograph of the Circle K gas station, $1.89 gas. So we are making things more affordable. I've got a bill I'm going to drop this week called the American Dream Act that says if you're age 65 or older and you sell your rental property, $250,000 to $500,000 range, to a first-time buyer, there's a 5-year moratorium on capital gains. And then what that will do is you graduate a trade school or college, you can't afford $1 million house, but you might be able to afford a $250,000 house and have a future and build a family. Of course, they can't sell those homes to, BlackRock or China or a foreign country. It has to be an American citizen, and 98% of first-time buyers are under age 32. It used to be home ownership under age 32 was 20% of the nation. Now it's closer to 1%. So it's kind of hard to be a socialist if you own property. So we're trying to work with affordability. We're holding people accountable. I hope Pam Bondi will lock some people up because it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, she's done nothing. We've done nothing. 1 year of Republican control of all three houses, and we've got nothing done except the one big, beautiful bill. And we keep getting these judges, you can't do this, you can't do that. Our opinion now is President Trump should basically just say, you know what, until SCOTUS tells me something, I'm not even going to pay attention to you. Try and stop me. I just think we have to get more aggressive, John. And when you look, you're right. I mean, when you look at what's happening in New York City in one day, basically he signed a bill where if you're a landlord, I mean, now anything you do, you have to go through New York City, and you can't sell your property or your home without going through the city first and getting their approval. I mean, now we're in a country where if you own something, you can't sell it to a buyer without the government sanctioning it. Like, you can't make a sale. They want to have first dibs on it. So they want to be able to match the offer and then buy it with taxpayer dollars and house illegals there. I mean, the whole thing. So if you want to sell something, instead of taking three to 6 months, it's going to take years to get through the paperwork to sell your own property in New York City. It's insane beyond belief. But this is what they voted for. His approval rating is 70%. He's chanting tax the rich. as if it's some kind of glamorous thing, which basically says if you have wealth and you worked hard, it's not your money. You don't own it. Somebody else should have it. It's nuts, John.
It is nuts. They're trying to destroy the American spirit, and it's an invasion. This Muslim socialist communist policies are not compatible with the West, and people got to wake up. But most people go to work and don't pay attention. And so he just said, "I'm going to give you free stuff. I'm going to give you free this, free that, free this," and he won. And Spanberger in Virginia did the same thing. She's offering all kinds of free utopia policies that will never work. They're un-American. The free market has lifted more people out of poverty, given more people freedom and opportunity than any other system in history. We have the best system, but they're destroying our system and they're manipulating it. And so everyone's got to get involved. You may know there's a special election on January 6th for Senate District 15 in Virginia. And if everybody gets involved in that, they can stop that redistricting. And they can stop a lot of the things that Spanberger is trying to do. And there's a Republican named John Thomas. It's in Chesterfield. And that's January 6th, special election for Senate District 15. That's a very Democrat district, but special elections are called special elections because you never know. But you're right. It's a crazy time. To me, it's good versus evil, and people have got to get involved. They say not a majority, but a huge amount of Christians that go to church every Sunday don't vote. I mean, the days of not voting have got to be over.
We got to get involved because we're hanging by a thread. Country is at the precipice. If we don't win one of these next two elections, they're 2 election cycles away from the country dissolving, in my judgment. Just not being a country, we're going to turn into England, which basically they've lost their sovereignty. I mean, it's been taken over by Muslims. It is what it is. I mean, you just got to start calling this stuff out. John, I got a phone call for you. Tim in Georgia. You're on with John McGuire. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, good morning, John and John. So I'm just really frustrated. What exactly is a congressional hearing going to do? It's just going to be political theater. Nothing's going to happen. We're very frustrated out here, and we know that if nothing changes, if people don't go to jail, I'm going to vote. John, you're going to vote. We're going to vote. But the rest of America, the Republicans who sit at home most of the time, if people don't get arrested, they will not show up.
Yeah, I agree with that. This has to be the year of accountability. We need some heads. We need people arrested. And now in Oversight Committee, you're right. Only thing we can do is identify the fraud and report it to the Department of Justice. And then it's up to the Department of Justice to lock these people up. It's Congress. We have it's three branches of the government. And so what we can do in Oversight Committee with James Comer, who's a really smart chairman, is we're going to question Tim Walz. We're going to question the Minnesota state reps and get the facts and evidence and give it over to the Department of Justice. And then it's up to Pam Bondi and them to actually lock somebody up. And if they don't, I tell you, the American people are getting more and more frustrated by the minute because the Democrats fight like grizzly bears, and it seems like Republicans fight like teddy bears. And it's ridiculous. So we need to hold them accountability. 2026 has got to be the year of accountability.
Tim?
Very prepared for Tim Walz because it's going to be slick. He's a slick guy. He knows exactly what to say. You guys have got to be prepared for him.
Yeah, I agree. Tampon Tim is terrible. I can't believe he is in charge of anything. I can't imagine he get elected to dog catcher. The guy is terrible. He has no idea what it takes to be a leader. And it's the reason Tampon Tim sticks is this guy. I'm out of touch. Putting tampons in a boys' bathroom. What kind of crazy world does he live in? But you're right. He is slick.
Yeah.
But like I said, we got some really good guys in the committee.
Well, John,
thank you, guys. Hey, have a second year.
Tim, thank you. John, I think the bottom line is you're out of time. I don't mean you personally. I think the whole Republican conference with their base is out of time. Like, it's 26, we're done. 25, we got very little done. We owned all 3 branches of government, plus SCOTUS. Ostensibly 6 out of 9 conservatives, although half the time, we can't win that either. But people are just tired of this nonsense. And my biggest fear, John, is nobody's going to vote in 26 and we're going to get blown out if we don't start to get things done, because the base is disillusioned. They're frustrated. There's no arrest. Nothing happens. We see this fraud. It just, nothing matters. Nobody goes to jail. They're still getting the money. Minnesota is still funding this stuff. They went on TV and said, we're not going to stop the funding because we really can't prove there's fraud. Even though we got everybody, daycares that don't exist, they're still funding it. And so people are throwing their hands up and says, why even bother to do anything when we don't get anything done? And now we got the president off today, threatening Iran. I don't care about Iran, John. I really don't. I care about my city, my family, how we're going to go forward, how we're going to put food on the table. I don't care about Iran.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Trump is doing a lot of great things. He can multitask. You probably saw that the economy grew 4.3%. They thought it was only 2%. And we passed this one big, beautiful bill, the work and family tax cut. But the American people are just beginning to see the positive effects. I hear people all over my district talk about executive orders are not permanent. But we codified 28, and most people don't even know that. We codified 28 executive orders in the one big, beautiful bill. And by the spring, we suspect that people are going to have the biggest tax refund ever. And you think about this, $20 trillion have been reinvested into our country. We haven't seen that in 50 years. Billions and billions of dollars in Virginia's 5th congressional district. You probably saw AstraZeneca, Eli Lilly, Hitachi, Amazon. All these people are coming to the United States, bringing manufacturing and high-paying jobs. Things are kicking in, and people are going to be able to afford things. Right now, the average American has $700 per month more in their paycheck than they did under Biden. So it takes a while to turn a big ship, but Trump is turning this ship. And you're going to see a lot of good things in the first quarter and definitely the second quarter of 2026. But I agree, the waste, fraud, and abuse, accountability in 2026, we need some heads, and we need to be putting some pressure on Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice because we've got the evidence. We need to go get them.
It's very difficult to get up every day, go to work, pay your taxes, and see what's happening in Minnesota and see that there's no accountability. And basically what we're now figuring out is the Democrats imported third world country voters and pay them with fraud to vote for Democrats and to harvest ballots. I mean, we've now, this is basically the whole plan, and it's working, and we have no way to stop it.
Yeah, that's definitely the plan. I mean, you look at foreign countries. You get either killed or go to labor camps and get beaten and deported if you just cross their border. These guys come in our border. We congratulate them. We put them in $500 a night expensive hotels, and we give them free health care, free food. We give them a check. And we got people in the Virginia 5th District, they can't afford a $500 a night fancy hotel, but they're using your taxpayer dollars it's America last. And that's why we hired an America First president. And so, we got a lot of work to do. We're making progress. I mean, we really had a lot of progress in 2025, but we're going to do even more in 2026.
Well, it's
a huge honor to be part of it.
We have got to get things done. I mean, you call it the year of accountability, and I call it the year of results. We have got to get results because the frustration of our base has reached a fever pitch. One more call, I'll let you go. Joe in Chesapeake, Virginia for McGuire. Go ahead, Joe.
Yes, Joe T. Chesapeake. Now, there's a major portion of the electorate which I believe can be turned around and turned in the right direction. This is the illiterate people who think that we should tax the rich. If we tax the rich, there will be a major portion of jobs lost. No rich.
Well, Joe,
no
look, everybody knows that. Joe, look, this is not a platform today for an economic debate on economic history. We all know that it's asinine, okay? We all know that if you start taxing people with money, people don't want to make any money, and they just wait and take somebody else's money. We all know how absurd this is. But this is really not even an economic argument. This is a communist manifesto movement to take over. I'm sorry, to take over the country. And when you get chants in New York City, tax the rich, when you get people chanting, and he's got a 70% approval rating, okay, you got a problem. And the problem isn't economic analysis of what that would mean. The problem is you've got a group of people now that believe if you've worked hard, if you've busted your butt, if you've built a business, if you've now created wealth for yourselves and your family, you're evil, and that needs to be taken away and given to somebody that just got here that didn't do anything, because they're going to give you the votes. That's what this goes back to, Joe. This is not an economic argument. This is a political movement by the communists in order to take power. And until we figure this out, Joe, your economic argument doesn't matter. Nobody's going to stand the reason here. They want to take money from people that have earned it and give it to people who don't. McGovern tried it in 1972. He won one state. 50 years later, we're right there. McGuire knows it. We all know it. We got to do something about it. Joe, you've been a listener of mine for 14 years, going on number 15. Joe, thank you. Thank you, John McGuire, for being with us. John, people want to follow you. Where do they go?
McGuire.house.gov. And I'm going to reiterate what you said. 2026 has to be about results, accountability, and affordability. And that's what we're working on. We need to lock some people up.
You got it. Quick word from our sponsors. We're going to be right back with your calls. 888-480-JOHN. Virginia Gang, 9 o'clock. Stay with us.